Okay, we're recording. We'll start in three, two, one. Welcome in, everybody. This is episode what, like eight now,
Seven, eight.
something like that.
We
We
should
we we can't
we
count
we
past
shouldn't.
five.
Yeah,
This is
we
why we
shouldn't
have
have this
shorts.
much trouble.
We've been talking
Like
for
we
half an
shouldn't have.
hour. Yeah. So, anyways, so me and Joe shouldn't be here today, but we love you guys, so we're making another episode. So today we're talking Legend of Zelda, and I'm planting my flag a little early here. Full transparency off the top. Zelda is my favorite franchise. I know I'm not a Nintendo guy. I know that I haven't played them all, and we're going to talk about that. But as far as my association with Nintendo, Zelda is the only thing keeping it together. Like me and Link, like that. But I know it's not your favorite, Joe. I know you can say it. It's okay. People already hate us. You may as well.
Some some of the games I really like. There's a lot I'm not too much of a fan of.
That's fair.
I like the idea of the games. It's just there's some that I wasn't a big huge fan of. Actually, a lot. There's only very few that I actually really liked.
And we
So,
were just touching on this because backstage here. But we were talking about it. Like I feel that you lost your love for it because this is the difference between you and I, and this is why I like the idea of this show, is because you play everything. Like
mhm.
if you see it written on a urinal fucking wall, Joe's gonna play that shit. Like Joe,
Yeah,
and that's what I
I
love
give
of
it a
it.
shot.
And that's it, man. You love everything equally. You give everything hope at first. See me, I look at a trailer, and if the animation isn't exactly as eye appealing that I want it, I don't play the fucking game. And I've done that to a lot. Like we were talking about it. But my love for gaming started with A Link to the Past. That that was my first love. I can't ever go back on it. I'm never going to say otherwise because that was it. I have had few other loves since then,
Mhm.
but it to me that is the franchise that, like I said, defines gaming. It's not perfect, but it's how I want. Like even when I watch a movie, right? I want that
Yep.
Lord of the Rings feel. Like we got shit to do. It doesn't take long, but it's going to take us 4.5 years to get there, just so we can and pull the sword out and defeat demise. But the storyline that started off with Legend of Zelda, the only thing that can beat it is Final Fantasy. And I don't even think beat it. I'm not going to say that because I'm not going to give it to you. I'm not. I don't give a fuck. You can suck Cloud's dick. It's not going to change things for me. Um, I'm teabagging by I'm getting teabagged by Link. Monday through Sunday. But
the, the like so Legend of Zelda, like the atmosphere, the environment, the music, the like you were saying, kind of like the Lord of the Rings-ish type vibe. Fucking fantastic, dude. Like honestly, every time I see one come out and it just looks really like fantasy, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like just high fantasy, like elves, orcs, this, that. I fucking love that shit. Don't get me wrong. I play D&D almost every Sunday. Like
yeah.
I'm into that shit, right? But yeah, it's just they they make a banger and then they make, like, I'm not gonna say it all the time, but it seems to be like they make a banger and then they make a banger and then they make something fucking weird and then they make something fucking weird and then a banger and then something weird. Like it's never, to me again personally, um, it's like never fucking consistent, right?
Well, and
Like
it's true though. Go ahead.
Mario, almost like every, I would say, unless Mario is missing again, which is made by somebody else, Horto Mario made by somebody else. But Mario is usually like you play Mario, you know what you're gonna get. They're usually always very fun. They're, and I know you can say they're basically the same. They add new mechanics and stuff like that in, but like yeah, it's just, and we'll get into it when we start talking about the games. It's just like so many of them came out, so many variations came out. So the timelines are fucking confusing because you're not the same Link every time, right? So we
Yeah.
could kind of say it's almost like Final Fantasy where like none of the story like you don't have to play one to understand the other, really, right? But I guess you could say that about Mario games too. So what the fuck am I saying? I gotta
Well,
backtrack on that.
but 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 I'm gonna set that up in a different light for you, Joe.
Hmm.
Um, would you agree that in our generation, developers, well, I won't even say developers, I'll just say studios in general, push just to throw something out? Because we talked about this with Final Fantasy, right? There was a point,
Hmm.
Final Fantasy 1 to 6 was over the span of, a long time, theoretically.
Hmm.
And that's including everything else. For us, it was only 1 to 3, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean? So when I looked back, and we talked about this yesterday, because there was a good 2 decades that I didn't play video games regularly. So let's just say, 2005 till now, barring my, when I broke my hand. But like, it's the same thing, but it's just Nintendo's Final Fantasy to me, because there's few things that link, or Legend of Zelda, or Hyrule, whatever fucking universe you want to call it, put it in timeline, don't care. But it's always gonna be that kid game to me still,
Hmm.
right? It's
Hmm.
still got that Disney Nintendo feel, while Final Fantasy is always gonna have that HBO feel to me.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair to say. Again, you give you give a kid now. We're not. Let's not talk about one and two because holy shit, you can't give a kid that and be like, "Yo, go have fun."
Yeah,
They're not gonna have fun. But
they're gonna
Link to
cry.
the Past onwards,
Yeah,
yeah, you could give that to a little kid and be like, "Here, have fun," and they'll figure it out. And I agree. You give them fucking Final Fantasy game. Oh my god, they're not gonna be able to figure that shit out on their own.
and that's
So
it.
I
Like,
agree with that.
because when I was looking through the timeline, and there was some that I didn't even know came out, and I was talking to Joe about this, and we mentioned it at first. Like, Link to the Past is always gonna hold, even when I went on my vacation there, because I can play it on Game Boy, right? Link to the Past is
Hmm.
that game for me. It's always been there. I downloaded an emulator on my phone because I'd rather play Link to the Past 1,000 times than anything else, but
It's a fucking great game.
because it set up the dungeon platform for me, kind of, because the way that they did dungeon style, puzzle locking,
Hmm.
right? But just the fact that you were able to go to the dark world, like when we were
Hmm.
able to
Hmm.
do that, because you thought you were done, right? We did X Temple, we're ready to go. I'm, an hour and 20 in, this is bullshit.
Hmm.
Other world, please hold. And that's still
Hmm.
today one of the things that, rank high. Like, I've been fortunate to play, like I said, I played a bit of Ocarina of Time. That is still probably the fan favorite. I didn't
Yeah,
have a 64, but you played it, like, and that's it. Like,
I did.
Majora's Mask was okay.
Fuck
Um,
that game.
yeah,
But anyways.
but that's why, because there's some that just aren't worth finishing. Like, you experience it, like of Time I experienced. But I want to take you back, because you're probably the only one in this conversation who played any of them on GameCube. Would I be correct in
Yes.
guessing that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I am gonna say this. The one on the GameCube, I think is the best. Oh God, that's
Because
hard
it
to
did
say.
get voted that
It's
way.
it's to me one of the best. Now, A Link to the Past, I think, will always be like number one. Wind Waker, bro, is
I
right underneath, and a lot of people are gonna be like, "What about Ocarina of Time?" No, I'm telling you right now, Ocarina of Time does not hold up like Wind Waker does, right? And that's what people kind of forget. They remember when they're playing on the 64, the Ocarina of Time comes out. It's great. It's open world. It's not open world, but it's
But
open world,
for the
bigger,
time,
vast,
yeah.
right? For the time. But go back and play that now. It's pretty tough. And when I say tough, it's tough to look at. And the controls and everything, right? I think again, on the GameCube. Now, people were pissed when that game came out. People were pissed with the reveal because they're like, "What the fuck did you do with Link? Like, what are these graphics? What is this? What is that? Why does he look like so like dumb?" Right? Even I at the time thought that too. And again, but I bought that game, dude. I had a blast. Sailing around on the boat was a blast. The graphics now that I look at it, great idea because the only two graphic styles that I find that make its way through time is pixel, 16-bit pixel, right? And cell shaded,
Yeah.
right? And I think we've touched on this in other ones, like in other podcasts. Like when you're trying to make a game realistic, it looks good at that time, but go back and try to play those games now, they don't look that good, right? They don't feel that good. They don't play that good because you can't get past on the looks, right? Um, again, Resident Evil went for that realistic kind of look. Go back and play the first one on the PlayStation. It doesn't look that good.
Yeah, but
You know what I
this is
mean? Like
why
it looks
we've
alright,
remastered
but
things. Like if it was worth playing at its original quality, and it's the same. We grew up, man. My mom still probably got two Betamax players in the garage. Like I can probably
I
guarantee it.
I got one.
Yeah, and that's it. Like it's shit like that. But like you and I am trying to look behind you. I almost sent you an ad for an original Nintendo because someone was selling it with Duck Hunt and everything. But you got two sitting in the back. Do me a favor, Joe.
I got two.
Just
Yeah.
fix your camera because it's driving me
Oh,
fucking
is
mental.
it
Yes,
is it blurry
every
again?
time you,
But
well, because you keep moving forward, it's trying to picture you back. So sit in a position and stay. There you go,
I'm
my
sorry.
man. No,
I
you're
move
good. You're
around. Is
good.
this
You're
good?
good. It's good. You're fine. Just stay.
I
You good?
will.
There you go. Back to the show. See, sometimes we got to fix this shit live. But anyway, but that's it. I never played it, but even when I was reading the reviews yesterday, Wind Waker was one of the top. But that animation style is what did it for. I did not want to play it because
Hmm.
that brought me back to this kiddie Nintendo feel. Like, and the problem was, I think that I wanted Legend of Zelda to be as edgy as Final Fantasy, right?
Hmm.
Because A Link to the Past is the JRPG for me. Final Fantasy 3, R3 is
Hmm.
JRPG to me. Those would be the two defining ones. Like I love Pokemon.
I sorry.
No,
I would consider it's like like it kind of has like I wouldn't say JRPG. It kind of has RPG qualities, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Like with the Link to the Past, because you get more hearts, you get like more spells, you get like this, you get that. So, but yeah, I get what you're saying. I just know like people are gonna come at you and be
that's
like,
fun.
Link to the Past is not an RPG or a JRPG. And it's like, yeah, we fucking know, but you know what we're saying.
Yeah,
Sorry,
don't
go
care.
on.
No, no, you're good. But that's it. Like that's to me what I think when I think that. Like if I look at Octopath Traveler and we talked about that kind of that cell animation where
Hmm.
it's, you're moving along the fixed background. And I think that's one thing. But as far as Link just I can't replace like I can't go to anyone that doesn't have that. And when we got into the world, like my world was fucking changed when I played Breath of the Wild. Like, granted, I played it like 5 years after its original release, but I had never experienced the game. The only thing that I experienced close to that was Witcher 3 at the time. But when that came out, Joe, and when I played that, I haven't been so fixated on a game in so long. But the thing is, the storyline matches that like fantasy reality story that I want, right? Like the storylines,
Right.
and don't get me wrong, because the people that are gonna be fucking I hope someone leaves comments. You know what? Come at me. Fuck it. I really don't give a shit. Engage, motherfuckers, engage. But for me, like when we talk storylines, Resident Evil, we talk Final Fantasy, like we know the storyline for Mario. They can come up with Mario 27, and I know that Hora's gonna get kidnapped by her ex, who is abusive, and the little Italian man's gonna come to her rescue because he doesn't know better. But so,
Hmm.
but that's it. But with Legend of Zelda, it's kind of the same but different. Like it's kind of the same world in those games. Like when I play Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Um, if I had to pick one over the other, Breath of the Wild is the masterpiece for me like Tears of the Kingdom is a beautiful game, but it didn't feel as natural to me as Breath of the Wild. Like when if you took me off the street, never played one, and I had to use the controls to play it, that was the most natural feeling one to me. Like we got into fusing and all this after, but there's just something that it just resonates so well about it to me. And I know, but like I said, I think you overplayed them, because if you had gone from Link to the Past to Breath of the Wild, you probably would have jizzed yourself.
Maybe okay. Look,
Oh, okay. Here we go. We're gonna fight.
every okay. Look. Me, I don't understand what it was about Breath of the Wild, like how it connected everyone else and why it never connected with me. I could understand one, and maybe if I could change this, and people are going to be like, well, you just like mod and put on your PC. I don't want to do all that shit.
No,
Okay, maybe to me it was the fucking controls. Maybe that's why I didn't like it. Maybe if I could have reconfigured the controls out. There's a couple other things, but honestly, it was the controls that really pissed me off. Because what was it? It was Y to run, but A to jump. Is A the bottom one? Again, Nintendo
I can't
changes their
remember.
fucking controllers all the time. But anyways, the top button was to run, and the bottom button was to jump, or something like that. And then I think the left button was to attack. Um, I could not get over the fact that I couldn't place my fingers properly. I was conditioned so long that the left button is run and the bottom button is jump in every single other fucking game imaginable
Yeah,
that's ever been made. Doesn't matter, Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, it doesn't matter.
yeah. There's a
Those are the
basic
fucking controls.
algorithm. Yeah,
Okay. And then Nintendo decided like not only to change, which this is what everyone's been asking for, and probably when we get into Pokemon, it's going to be the same thing. A big open world like this character game, okay? Respect for them for doing it. Now, the world was to me very fucking empty. Like like I feel like they could have done a lot more with that. The world was so fucking empty, I felt. I understand the whole red moon thing because you're killing everyone, but just have like random instead of just having like areas where the enemies just always are, have them like fucking, and I know Nintendo could do this, okay? Have them fucking just show up randomly. Every other game, again, every other game has that. They just kind of they're just there. Like it doesn't matter where you're running to. Like they just show up here randomly, like fucking Skyrim did it for goddamn sake. Like they just dropped in randomly, right? So like that pissed me off. What was the other thing? Weapon. Can we stop with the weapons breaking bullshit? Can we stop with that? Can Why do I have to hold on to 20 fucking different weapons because I don't know when they're going to break and I got to hold on to them and everything. Now I know you get the master sword and I know, but then again with the master sword does it not have to wait to like recharge after you use it or some
it's
shit?
not that bad.
This is how much I didn't play along in this game. I didn't even get the master sword in the game. Like I don't know when you would have gotten it. And I'll tell you the exact moment I stopped. There was a level where I think it was in that stage where it's the all female town and you have to
Okay, yeah,
dress up
yeah.
like a female. Okay.
Gerudo.
Then you go into like not a temple, maybe it is a temple, and then you're supposed to talk to some like master ninja sort of old man or something, and you got to sneak around dropping fucking bananas everywhere so you don't get caught. This is ringing a bell, right?
Hmm.
I finally got through that. I had to watch countless videos because again, the controls were fucking me up. Like they did not make it easy to pull up bananas, do this, do that. Maybe they did, and I just didn't realize it. I talked to, and dude, I'm so sad that you didn't have your special guest on because he would probably ream me out for this because I had to like call him because I'm like I don't understand. First of all, the the special guest we're gonna say it right now. It was gonna be my brother. My brother was gonna hop on. It was gonna use Rise. I didn't know about it, but it didn't work out because the motherfucker still doesn't have Discord. Get Discord, you piece of shit. Um, so, anyways,
Well,
he he doesn't. He plays games, but not like me. Okay, and I was shocked that he beat Breath of the Wild. It blew my mind. And I'm like, yo, if Tim could beat Breath of the Wild, I could beat Breath of the Wild. Like I've beaten so much more games than him, so much more harder games than him, like all this other stuff. I could do it. I tried 3 times to get into that game. Could not get into it. Get up to that stage every time. Fucking couldn't do it. Had to call him. He told me how to do it. I finally got past it. And then I was like, I'm done. Like I finally got past my hump of the challenge and I just didn't feel that I wanted to progress anymore. And I know I'm the minority because you probably talked to 9 out of 10 people that played it and they're going to tell you it's the best fucking game of all time. But I'm going to tell you it's okay to be wrong. There are better Zelda games. I can't believe I'm saying there are
Fuck,
better
you tried
Zelda
to
games
keep
out
a
there.
yeah, you couldn't even keep a straight face saying that because you
Because
know
I just
what's coming.
in my mind I was like, I'm gonna get shit on so bad.
Yeah, I'm
And
about to.
I just started picturing everyone that's gonna listen and like the people in my life that listen and they're gonna come up to me because I already there's somebody who was here yesterday and he was like, yeah, I listened to that one episode about like Sega and I had fucking things to say to you. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I
I'm
know,
probably gonna
I
say
know.
them for you, pal. Don't you worry. But
So, but anyway, I wish I could like that game. I really do because then again, I hear tears. A lot of people say Breath of the Wild is better than Tears of the Kingdom, and I know there's some hook in Tears of the Kingdom where you like go underground or something, and that's like a whole new level, and you go up in the sky, I believe.
yeah,
Um,
they basically set it up like if you were looking at the mechanics from the Dark World and Link to the Past, kind of the same
mhm,
idea. So there's quests beneath, and then you've got temples above. So they kind of opened it up to a lot of things. Like it is a very in depth game.
mm.
Like you like it's like
See,
The Witcher 3, right? You
okay.
could do everything and still be at 80%. Like,
Fuck, dude. See, like, and that sounds amazing.
yeah,
Like to
but
me
you're
on paper,
prejudiced.
that sounds like, but I just prejudice towards fucking elves, you bitch. No,
You heard it.
um,
You heard it. New t-shirt coming out
I
soon.
just, I just, I just wish I could like that game, and I don't know if I should give it a shot again.
100%.
But I think once again, the controls are just going to ruin it for me. And until I could reconfigure the control, I don't think I could get into it. I could deal with the weapons breaking, I guess, which again, please everyone, unless it's a survival horror game, don't fucking add that
That
as a
is the
mechanic.
last fucking game I want that in. You want to know what? If the fucking lantern or the torch stayed together in the forest, I would have saved Tim. But I didn't.
Dude,
It's
no.
bullshit.
And I like
No,
that about those games.
yeah,
Those games that make sense.
but I gotta call. Yeah, this is the problem: is you need chaos, sir. You can't just be in a happy world. You've constantly got to be fighting your way out of the north end with a giant sword. Anyways, I gotta roll back here because not only are the viewers pissed, I'm a little pissed. So I gotta say something. You seem to be prejudiced against games that require skill. I'll say it. I will say it. You're
I'm
getting
gonna let you
red.
keep going.
They're getting yeah. Well, here we go.
Gonna let you. I'm gonna give you your time. I'm gonna give you
Yeah.
your time.
So,
But you
and I
can
say this
fuck off.
because the controls. Oh no. See, and this is the thing, and we'll do an episode because I think that's another key thing that the console wars had that people didn't know. And it's like DeWalt, Milwaukee, and everybody else, and Ryobi. Everybody's got their own little thing. And that's the thing because when I was playing Link, and this is the thing where I think that bugs you, and I'm probably going to call it. You don't play just one game at a time, Joe. I do.
No.
I will fixate like a fucking dog with a bone. So when I play Switch, I just play Switch. I can't switch to mouse and key. Like going from Xbox to Switch was a fucking nightmare for me. Goddamn fucking nightmare. Like I had to play stupid games like your fucking Mario's so that I could learn like a child how to play on Switch. It's basically a tutorial for an hour and a half that costs $90. I was better off just YouTubing it. But once you get that feel, it's right because I can say that I've never really changed the setup of a game. Like I know back some people invert their controls, it just feels better.
Mhm.
Whatever. You've played it all. right, and the way that you talked about the Nintendo GameCube controller, and like I've never seen you love anything in your eyes the way that you love GameCube. And I didn't know this about you. Like this is something 40 years later I'm still fucking learning. But this is the thing, but there are people that like Sonic, and then there's people that like Crash Bandicoot.
Mhm. And those people that like Sonic maybe should just go live on an island by themselves. No, I'm kidding. Fuck, I gotta. Yep,
Jesus, can
yep.
someone get this guy some
The
fucking
the
Jesus. Yeah, put the bottle closer. We all heard it, bitch.
the worst part is you're just going to clip that part, and I
Yep,
had to explain. Yeah, I had to explain
100%.
to Paulo the other day when he was like, "Yeah, you said this." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." But you didn't hear the shit before that. So,
Yeah, it's not how we
yeah,
make
and
clips
then
here.
he
I just
called
need to
me
rage bait people.
CNN fake news is what he called me.
Yeah, well,
So, you know.
I'm not disagreeing with Paulo. So, but that's it. But it's a different perspective, and like I said, this is why you and I differ, is because you'll play every game in the series. I'll only play the ones that I know I'm gonna fall in love with. That being said, I respect you for taking the time to learn everything different. Like for me, I think I played Ark, and Ark's a perfect fucking example. When I first came out here and I started playing video games, someone got me to play Ark. I have never had an anxiety attack like I have playing Ark
Oh,
because the
arc
dinosaur
like
shit,
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I wake up and everybody's stolen my shit and I'm in my gitch in a swamp face down, It was like high school. But but that's it. Like I don't care for those games. Like The Forest was another one of those games. That's your jam. But I don't
I
get
fucking love it.
why you will play the kiddiest shit, because when I look at the GameCube animation, and you're only a year younger than me. It's not like we're fucking
Mhm.
very different, but
Mhm.
you you gravitate more to that type of animation than I do.
I fucking
I
love
think
it.
we've had this conversation in multiple, like even now we talked to Ninja Turtles the other day, and I said, the 2003 version of the Ninja Turtles was my favorite. The new stuff is too kiddie, but it's the same, right? We can talk about Avengers Assemble, but
Mhm.
I'm getting old, and I'm mad that they're not getting old with me. Is basically what's happening. But when I play Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, that's it. Like I know the time. I'm not even going to explain the timeline. I've already talked about this being a JRPG, which it's not, but that's the only word my fucking brain knows how to
No,
explain
no,
it.
no. Yeah.
But but that's it. But to me, you could take A Link to the Past, give it to anybody, and they would love that game. Granted, we've come into a different time, right? But that's the same. I can say the same about Pokemon Red, Blue, right? We grew up in that style. It's just that style of bit gaming that, it warms my heart. But the thing is,
Oh yeah.
everything in the middle, I fucking hate. N64 graphics, fucking hate them. Will not play it. Just fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Okay? With all
Yeah.
that money, you couldn't have come up with better. Bullshit.
Yeah, I'll agree. I'll agree. The 64 wasn't like as good as other systems
But the
for
thing is, I've
sure.
never played GameCube, so I can't compare it to
Oh,
much else.
buddy, I should
Well,
let you borrow my GameCube.
and I thought about it. I thought about
I
just
got two of them.
streaming Wind Wakers. I'm
Yeah,
not
I
surprised.
got two of them. So if you ever wanted,
Well, I've got your PS2 and PS4 packed up, or the games, anyways. So we might have to swappy
do a little
swappy next
swappy.
time. Next time
Yeah,
I'm in
I
town,
don't have Wind Waker though, but
I'm sure
I
I can
mean,
find it at a pawn shop. Fuck. Tell PM Transporter. Dissonance is probably someone's got a copy. I'm sure amongst your
P
network.
P PM Transporter has the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Master Edition on the GameCube. I believe it is. It comes with like two of the games. I can't remember which one, but it comes with like a upres version of the 64 game and something else.
Well, I'm
And
wondering, does Switch have an emulator? It's got to have one for 64 or for
well,
GameCube,
the Switch Online, yeah, I think you pay
whatever the
double a
membership. Yeah.
year or whatever it is. But I heard like the the emulated versions of, especially unless they change it, of like Ocarina of Time. And I feel like people are going to judge us because I don't know if it's Ocarina or Ocarina, and
Ocarina.
I've never known. It's Ocarina. I did, okay. Um, but yeah, they're it's on there, but I hear like the part of that game, because of the draw distance and stuff, they added the fog and people thought it was like ambiance, but it was really a hardware limitation, right? They've done it before in like old games. They've taken that away because there's no hardware limitation. Now the game looks weird, right? Like some of the game looks like doesn't look right because some of the stuff that they added in for the hardware limitation they took away, which kind of lost this thing. Um, but you could definitely find it, like you could emulate 64. Um Retro Arch or Arc, Retro Arch, it's like a program a lot of people use. I have it. I haven't used it in a while. But research on that, because with that one you could play like uh Nintendo, Sega, like all, like even I think GameCube. You could also emulate GameCube games on it. I could ask Deslins how to do it again. He's the one that showed me. Or you could just research it and go on YouTube. But download that program, and with that program, all you gotta do is download the ROMs and then load it in, and it'll play it for you basically. So, we got a little sidetracked here, but
That's fine. I got to make an hour worth of content.
yeah,
But that's it. But now I'm at a point because we saw this yesterday. I don't know if anybody else noticed. If you have Game Pass, Final Fantasy 1 to 6 is now available as a bundle. So, this is the question. Am I going to go through all this and then all of a sudden Nintendo's going to be like, fuck it, I'd rather just sell more copies of Legend of Zelda. Let's just cross platform it. Because I think we can say that I think PlayStation hands down has won the console war. It may like PS6 is probably going to be the last of its time to come out. I saw Steam's got their own thing going now. I can't remember what it's
yeah.
called.
The Steam Box. I think it's just called the Steam Box.
Oh, there was another one that started with an R, I think. Anyways, there's a bunch of shit coming out now. But basically, I think as a gaming society, um, the only you got to sell the TV show to everybody. I think that's it. Like we can't force people into a console, and the more we move to online cloud gaming, um, it just makes sense. Like there was a streamer the other day. I saw a news article. She was in Japan, but she had taken her Switch to she had a PS5. She put four fucking things together, essentially. She made a four
Mhm.
console, one super console that she could switch all the time. Fuck. Guys, just we don't have all the money in the world. Just take what we have and let us play our games where we want to play them. Can we I
You're
know,
a fan
Joe.
of that, eh? Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. I
communism.
know.
I know you hate it, but as far as game communism goes, in my opinion, that is the way. We're beyond it. Who gives a fuck? Like, the thing is, we were so tribal growing up. I don't give a fuck, right? I don't give a fuck if you like PlayStation more than Xbox. Do you like this game or not? Okay. Now
Yeah.
we can be friends. You know what I mean?
I I know it's the way that it should go, because again, consoles are just getting more and more expensive. Like, what is it? The next Xbox PC hybrid, people are speculating, it's going to be just as much as like a low end
Gamer.
gaming PC,
But that's it.
right?
But that's what they need to do, Joe. And I say that because Xbox has always had that versatility. The benefit of the PS4 was with the PS4, I could watch Netflix, I could do so on and so forth. Like it had that multimedia center. We talked about this in the first episode. But at this point, yeah, right? Like if I can run Xbox off my laptop and everything else, like I haven't used any of the PlayStation online subs, but stuff like that, like it doesn't pay. Like there are more people. I would just rather pay the $30 a month to get all the games, shit that I'm never gonna fucking play, because
Mm.
it's giving the indie guys a chance, a real
Yep.
chance. But the thing is, they probably make better profits off of Steam. And this is it. Like, Steam takes everything and puts it together. I like the idea of Steam. I think Steam is like Kick to streamers, right? It's probably your
Mhm.
best payout, and the streaming community uses it, and it's the niche streaming community because I game. I don't use Steam as much as I should, right? If I get it in my Game Pass, it's done.
Mhm.
Um, and that's it. Like you are a Steam gamer, like you are a true gamer. I am not a true gamer. I'm okay with throwing up that flag. I'm just here because I try to monetize my works.
Like,
Go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say you were mentioning like you don't are you gonna wait because you mentioned like the Pixel remaster coming out, and releasing it. Like, are you gonna wait? I'll guarantee you, Nintendo will eventually either release um will probably release like a 3-pack compilation like they did with the 3D Mario All Stars, where they had the Super Mario 64, Galaxy, and Sunshine. They'll probably do the exact same shit with Legend of Zelda eventually, and they'll put like Ocarina of Time, they'll put Wind Waker,
And then they're gonna
and
put a shitty one because you need that
eh,
one. The reason in the marketing version of this is let's sell some old copies collecting dust. Let's make some money out
mhm,
of an old mistake. So if we pair it, right? Because
mhm.
at this point in life, we even you and I looked at it. Okay. So me and Joe last week, I had discovered that Final Fantasy 1 to 6 was on, and I was like, but even with the platinum ultimate pass with Xbox, I still would have to shell out. And I'm like, no.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and that's it. We talked about it, right? Because when it's free, fuck yeah. I'll
Mhm.
take up the space, but I think that it's going to have to be with Link or Legend of Zelda now becoming what, a movie or a TV series.
Oh, yeah, no,
It's
you're right, it's gonna be a movie, they're making a live action movie, I forgot about that.
That's why you have me, buddy. But the thing with that is it's getting to a point where everybody's going to experience it.
Mhm,
And I think that, and it's the mentality, Joe, of, and it's a sales thought, but I would rather make $1 a copy 7 billion times than sell 7 million units and maybe make 20.
mhm,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I think it's getting to a point, and we talked about this. Let's just sum up the entire series up into this point. The cost of
mhm,
making consoles was retarded. We didn't have other options back then, right? Okay.
right, we
Now
didn't.
what now when we look at PCs, we talked about this. The Nitro 5, I'm still running mine, right? 500 gigabytes, nothing special, but it runs games.
Mhm,
The thing
okay.
is now I can't run certain games. Like, and I was telling Joe about this the other day. I still haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2. The minute that I have enough room on a PC in which to do this, fuck, that's all you're gonna see from me for like a year and a half. It's just gonna be bad.
It will
It's
be,
it's gonna
it
be
will be.
Portuguese Red Dead. It's gonna be the fucking worst shit ever.
And when you
Um,
do, let me know, we'll play some online together because
and
the
that's it.
online portion seems cool.
Because my brain hasn't developed to a point where, and I was joking about this because when I was looking at computers, I reached out to a guy in Brandon who makes custom ones, and I said, "Bro, I'm just trying to play shit from 2013 right now. Like I haven't,
Mhm.
I don't need Fortnite to run at fucking 120 FPS. I just, and we
Don't
talked
need
about it
fucking
too,
Fortnite at all.
right? Like I'm still, and that's it. I don't play that shit. It doesn't matter to me. I want to play a
Yeah.
game. Like we talked about, what was that, Wind of the Wakes or whatever. There's this
Oh,
new
where the
Wind
wind
blows
meets?
something. Yeah, where the wind meets. That might be it. But
Yeah.
I was talking to Joe about this because it looks phenomenal. But I know it's just going to be a piece of shit and laggy because this was the problem that I had when I played Spider Man on stream. I couldn't. I had to choose between streaming and that. And I eventually got
Mhm.
out because Twitch just sucks the life out of my browser source. But overall, and I've thought about this, Joe, and what I'm probably going to do is I'm just going to release these as reruns on Twitch where I can at least talk to chat because I think that that's the best way to do this because for us to do it
Yeah.
live, like I said, is a little, and the only reason we haven't done this live, everybody, we'll do once in a while, but with people coming in with sound alerts and everything like that. I don't want people burning channel points to come in when I don't want things, because it fucks with the recording so badly
Yeah.
that it's just annoying. This way we can vibe without the extra shit, and you guys can go on the rerun, fucking noise it the fuck up. I have got no
Yeah,
problems
yeah.
with that. So, but that is just from the executive table here, decisions that have been made. I'm glad I let you know. But anyways, dude, but that's the thing. Like when we talk about all-time franchises, because this is where this is going. So anybody that's been paying attention, we kind of have a story arc for the show now, in which we're trying to do. We are going to focus on video games, and then we were going on to animated series next, I believe.
Mhm.
So we're going to tie everything in. But Legend of Zelda going into TV, movies,
Yeah.
is, I think, because we are in that day and age of CGI. We talked about this in the early 2000s. We didn't have this. Like, there are games that looked great in those graphics back then. GTA will always rule, right? Shit like that will always be comfortable at that graphic. I cannot play a game older than San Andreas now, because I can't
Yeah.
put up with it. It's like going back to
Yeah.
VHS when I know I can stream it in, at least 720 somewhere. My
Yep. Yep.
but
Sure
my
enough.
brain don't compute. The software system's up. It doesn't want to communicate. But even now we're talking about it. PlayStation 4, I think they're losing Netflix serviceability. Like everything
Yes.
is moving to the new age. We are
Mhm.
watching it. We've seen it from dial up to wireless
DSL.
to DSL to T3
DSL.
to fucking satellites. Now you can get it in the middle of a farmer's field that through a fucking combine if you really wanted it. But if there's a solar flare, nobody can work that day. So boggles my mind with technology. But this is the thing. But the gaming world and just the industry, because we forget that the military world is 20 to 40 years ahead of us on technology. Like
Oh
we're
yeah.
we've basically just given them the key to our lives. Everybody that has this is being watched all the time. I can tell you from personal fucking experience, after talking to police officers, some of the shit that I talked about with people I rarely talk about, they knew about. And the WPS isn't what I'd call the smartest of the bunch. But shit happens, and loose lips sink ships. But, that's why they're all getting caught for fucking being frauds now. But, anyways, uh, Legend of Zelda, like I said, is going to be one of those. If you talk to anybody, whatever level of gaming they are on, Legend of Zelda is going to have, there's going to be one that is going to resonate with them. And
Oh
like I
yeah.
said, I haven't played them all. And I think with you, Joe, and I think that's the thing. I think you have Legend of Zelda fatigue because you played all the bullshit I didn't want to go through. Right? You
Mm.
were at the dance asking girl after girl after girl to dance. And then Dano just shows up and is like,
Yeah.
and that's it.
You ever play Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks?
No, but I was watching,
No, fucking don't.
yeah. But you have, and that's the thing. Because I've played those shitty Nintendo or Super Mario games thinking that it was going to be good and that I would like it. Like Star Wars, okay, Star Wars gaming came, my real first experience was Battlefront. Loved it. Loved it. It
Oh, dude,
was,
Battlefront is awesome.
and that's it. That's what we wanted at the time. But it wasn't true to, and this is why I'm a bitch when it comes to this shit. Like I love the origin story, but I want it regurgitated, right? DC lost me because I had to listen to the story of Batman too many fucking times. Every time we got a new guy, he got so old because we told the story so many fucking times. That's it. So for those of you who don't know what happened to Batman, his parents got shot in a fucking alley. That's it. Clip this, just put it there. This is the beginning of every movie from now on. I hope they fucking stop. Because between the years of 2005 and 2020, every time you saw Batman, we had to trauma dump again. Okay,
You had to know why he was Batman. I don't give a shit why he's Batman. He's fucking cool. Let's see him fight people.
right? That's it. John Wick is John Wick because of a dog. We don't care. We just want to see John Wick now. But
Yeah.
this is the thing, Joe, with Legend of Zelda. Like I said, you watched it all. You watched every series. It was like watching, and you still do it with cartoons. Like there is shit that I just like found out that Joe has already watched 4 or 5 fucking times, and I'm like, did you even know they remade fucking Ninja Turtles in 2005? And he's like, yeah, I got all the fucking DVDs, and I'd be like, but that's just Joe. But that's it. But Joe is you're a purist when it comes to gaming. You, PM Transporter, Dissonance, Tim to an extent. You guys are purist gamers.
Hmm.
I think me and Tim just went into business mode a little harder, and we just had shit to take care of.
Hmm.
In our early 30s, and that's it. But you have always maintained that. That childhood wonder. Whenever I hear that,
Hell yeah.
I think of the Rise of the Guardians, also a great movie. With the Russian grandpa or Santa Claus. That is my,
Oh.
from now on, that is the only Santa Claus I want. I want a tattooed, fucking Ukrainian, gruff, Ruski Santa Claus. But that's it.
Never grow up. Fucking never grow up. That's my mentality. Like never. You can't lose that wonderment. Just you know,
But this is why you
video games.
appreciate Nintendo.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, and this is what brings me back, PlayStation can't pull off the kiddie shit to the extent that Nintendo did. Right? Like
No.
every time I see a new Mario Brother, I know it's going to be some kiddie shit. That's it, because that's the market. So when I
But it's
saw,
fucking fun.
and that's it, but you have fun like that. I have fun in tragedy. There's something about it that just makes me happy. Like, there's always got to be some kind of, and like I said, and this is going to go back to my point about chaos versus the fantasy, is that I've lived in chaos so much that when I come to a video game, I love the fantasy. And the thing is, you love video games so much that you love the chaos. Like, you know what I mean? Like there is,
Yeah.
you like that dark side. You like Devil May Cry. You've played shit, Joe, that I'm never even probably going to touch. And you're on like
Oh
the
yeah.
sixth edition of it. And I'm okay with that. And we talked
I
about
may not
this.
have beaten them, but I played them.
But
Right.
that's it. Like, but there's games like if I get that enthralled to a game, like I said, I'm a dog with a bone. That's all I'm playing, right? We saw with Pal World. Pal World, the Pal World was kind of the reason I stopped streaming because I had to make a choice between laggy and I refuse to have shitty quality. It's something that pisses me off. I will not put out. There's a reason why the first episode of this show is not on Spotify because it was so fucking tragic technically that I will not let other people
Yeah.
listen to it. But
Oh yeah, that's what I do. No, I was gonna say that's what I tell people too, because they're always like, "Hey, like, why does it start at episode 2?" And I'm like, "Oh
because
yeah, you don't want to hear episode 1.
I just want
Yeah,
you to
you
know
don't want
there
to hear
was
it."
a pilot episode. There was a pilot episode. It's
We
actually on
should.
YouTube. I think I've got it on YouTube. It won't be on Spotify because on YouTube
Uh,
you needed the visuals. But anyways,
uh,
like I said, we're
I
so
was
in the
gonna be like,
future.
we should maybe re-record it one day, like
I don't know if
do
we could, and I think we will. You know, maybe we'll start a Patreon,
it.
and if you want to pay a fucking $5.99 for it, we'll give it to you. That way, it'll appease my poor creative because there's nothing
and
worse
and
than
then
motherfuckers bitching about free things.
and then they'll also support in getting you a new PC, right? And then if they like this shit
But this is it,
and they
and I want
better
people.
shit.
To go ahead
Oh no, I was gonna say if they like this shit and they want better shit,
because this is
you're
where
gonna
I'm at with
support.
this. Because I've had a few people ask me why we're not doing this on Twitch, and I've touched on a few of the major reasons. But the other reason, guys, is I don't want to give Twitch money. If you want to
Fair
support
enough.
us, go to the site, go to angrycorgycustoms.ca.com.uk. I bought them all because Joe doesn't know which one to fucking promote every week. So I just fucking paid for them all. This way, you just go to the site, whatever Joe tells you to do, it'll get you there. So right now, this is it. That is what supports this for me. I want, even if you don't wear it, if you want to support me with $20, not even, I think I make $4.30 per shirt, depending on which country. So that's it. So right now, I just need $1,000 for a PC. I blew out my back. Shop work is done. I got an MRI next week, but until then, I'm basically SOL in living off hopes, dreams, and rainbow farts to try to get things going. So once I'm back, we'll do that. But as far as streaming goes, I could take this to Twitch. I could take it to YouTube. I could take it to Kick. I just don't think that you and I are going to have the episode that we are going to have if you just shut the door. Now, we are going to have cameos. I've got to figure out a better way to do cameos. And this is what's going to happen. So if you want to support us in any way, please check out angrycorgycustoms.ca. Even if you don't like the design, you want me to design something, I'll fucking do it because the money from there supports this as a business. My 9 to 5 supports the house. This supports us doing this. And that's how I want it to stay. I could go fund me, I could do a lot of shit. But right now, I want to promote hustle. Pay me for hustle. I don't want to take your money. I'm not going to sit here every week and ask you for a fucking charity because that's one thing that disgusted me with Twitch. Because I can guarantee you half of those charities were probably people's fucking wallets. When
Yeah.
and that's it. But not only that, everybody but the charity. You want to fucking donate to charity, guys? And I understand there's some, get the fuck out and go to the fucking building. Drop off a fucking 20 e-transfer. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
Mm-hmm.
it. Like don't I can't stand it when our people are like, oh, I can't pay my rent because then dumb motherfuckers who can't pay their rent are now fucking going on their credit card to pay that person's fucking rent. And these circle of stupidity doesn't end. So that's it. If you want it, at least you got a shirt. At least if you lose your house, you got a $20 shirt. Tell me I'm wrong,
I
bitches. Tell me
I
I'm wrong.
wanted to I wanted to join in, but I'm like, I stream on Twitch.
I know, but I do too, right? Like I'll game on Twitch, but as far as our show goes, if you really want to support us, help us out. Like I said, I'm gonna have a section for Joe. Joe's gonna like I'm trying to encompass everybody. Long time ago, I used to have the Angry Corgi Network. That fell apart because of whiny bitches. So now
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Well, we're
remake
bringing it
it
back, motherfuckers.
with the real fucking OGs, and that's it. It's not a stream team. This is a family. And I just fucking shocked myself on the mic, lost my screen. It's back. Now, this is the problem, guys. We're
That's
wiring shit
proof.
together.
That's proof.
Canva can't handle the shitty quality anymore. Dan's been
That's
talking into a
proof.
tin can. We've heard your complaints. We just can't fix them. So if you want to help us out, please check out the site. I'm doing
Oh
my best to get
God.
it everywhere. For me to be profitable enough to move it to, I need about $1,000 to move it to Amazon so that I can trademark. But right now, I've bought enough shit that in Canada, I am the fucking trademark. But Angry Corgi will live on. But like I said, when we started this show, this just started off as a conversation. And after building that arc, um, the possibilities are endless. And we're not going to give too much, but with what I touched on, when I play Switch, I gotta play Switch. Don't fuck around with my controls, or else we turn into angry individuals like Joe. Um, Joe is angry about video games like I am about business. That's why I love my cousin.
I'd like to
But
call it passionate, but you know.
but it's the same. But that's what we are. We're passionate people, and this is why. And this is what podcasting is about. It's about being passionate. That's why I'll never censor you. I'm gonna say some dumb shit. People are gonna make some fucking comments, and then I'm gonna be like, why? Because I'm the one out here fucking doing it. You guys want to talk about how it can be better? No offense. Motherfuckers who talk aren't the ones walking. This is my 8th fucking podcast, some shit like that. I've gone through this. This is why I wanted to do it with you. Because
And this is the one that's going to stick and work, bitches.
but that's it. But I have the brand because even I'm working on the side show. I'm doing a show about local heroes, small town champions, and shit like that on the side because this is all I got left. My back's done. For those of you who don't know me in real life, I was a human forklift. Not no more. So Dano's
Oh,
got to
buddy,
switch
I'm
it up.
getting there. I'm getting there. That's why I decided to do this with you.
And that's it. Because if I look at all the old football players, I can't make it to the NFL Network. I don't much care for TSN anymore. So I am on the internet. But right now, this is therapy for you, therapy for I, and therapy for anybody listening. And that's why we did it. I know we really didn't talk about Legend of Zelda because I couldn't get my cameo guy on because essentially I was going to talk the Triforce. Okay, so here's the big ending. Now that I can't fucking do it
I,
because when Joe
I
got his
love how
notes
this
today,
Yeah, I love how this podcast just went off the rails, and it's great. I fucking
Because
love
the
it.
whole
This is so
premise
much
of this
fun.
podcast was the fucking Trinity, and I can't even do it now. So, anyways, so to everybody out there who's wondering why Joey's pissing himself right now, I had a special guest. We talked about it earlier. I was bringing on Timmy Mack because I had texted Timmy Mack this morning, being like, "Hey, Triforce joke, you're gonna love it." Didn't tell him because the one thing about Link, well, Zelda in general, is it is founded on the Triforce.
Mhm,
The power
mhm.
was demise, the courage was Link, and I like to think the wisdom was a little bit of us. But when it came down to my gaming origin story, I can't tell that story without you and Timmy Mack. And
Mhm,
I think that's the
mhm.
one piece that's been missing from this show. So I had got him a little gassed up with, I believe, we can look at the message right now. I will tell you exactly what I texted him
That I
because
called Breath of the Wild a piece of shit game.
please hold you. I don't throw you under the bus. I only do it to your face. So what I had said is basically rage bait Joe into believing Legend of Zelda is the superior franchise. That was it. Followed by LOL, I could do that, tilted laughy face. And if Tim was more seasoned on Discord, he would be here. But unfortunately, that's my fault. I probably should have let him know 2 hours before the show that I've been planning for 2 weeks that I had this wonderful segue. Tim wasn't going to be wisdom. I was going to be wisdom. Tim was going to be courage, but he doesn't get that now. So now we got to find a fucking fourth so I can do a Ninja Turtles episode. But
We
that
do.
that's in the future. It is coming, guys. We are going to talk about our entire childhood. Like I said, this is kind of just chronicling because every time I go back to that podcast and remember what I had started with Carrie and Noble with Corgi's Chronicles, this is still the same thing.
Mhm,
Um, I've split this show into stuff I'm going to do with you guys. I've got the professional side going on. Like I said, I'm dealing with local people. So if anybody has anybody local to them that likes to fucking hear the sound of their own voice as much as I do, please hit them up with my info. Info at angrycorkycustoms.ca.com.uk. Whatever Joe told you to go to, it'll get you there. Joe costs me about $35 a year just for his fucking mistakes. But he's family.
Oh
I
god.
love him. I'm told to love him. I still love him. Just like Legend of Zelda. But Legend of Zelda, in my opinion, will always be the king of franchises in video games. And I will put that
Mhm.
over, get ready, Rage Baiters, Final Fantasy. I will put that over Super Mario. I will. Oh yeah. Oh fuck. Hold that shit. You bite your tongue, motherfucker. Angry Corgi presents this show, bitch. Uh, and that's it. Like, and I know he's right. Like, fuck, his headphones were about to fucking shoot up. Anyways, Tim couldn't be here to rage bait him, so I have to be. But to me, in my opinion, because I've reached out to a few people, right? We have Fallout, but Super Mario may be the best known franchise of all time. Final Fantasy might be the best PlayStation gaming franchise of all time. This is where he's going to get upset. Final Fantasy is the best turn based battle game. No, can't. I can't because we haven't talked about it yet, but we're getting close because we're got to talk Pokemon
Oh.
because Pokemon trumps us all. We don't even think about it. But Pokemon
Mm.
has done everything from make us exercise to everything else. Like I was
Mhm.
literally Pokemon going. What, by the way, if you're a warehouse worker and you're looking to move or grow some eggs and evolve some eggs, if you hook that shit up to your forklift, as long as you're going under 10,
Yep.
you're walking, bitch. So,
Fuck.
oh, buddy, I had that shit on lock. I was doing 8 hours, 8 hours, and then I'd go and I'd walk after. Fuck, I was fit. But anyways, but just a little life hack for warehouse workers or anybody loading docks. If you play Pokemon Go, get yourself some zip ties. Just a phone holder that you can hook up to the mast. It's good to go. But today, like I said, I know this isn't your favorite, Joe. I know it's not your like worst. I know you don't hate Legend of
Yeah,
Zelda
yeah, I know. Dude, but people are gonna be like, "How the fuck does he hate?" I don't
because
hate
I'm gonna
Legend of
edit it
Zelda.
that way. That's why
Yeah,
they're
I
gonna
know.
say
I
it.
don't hate it. I'm just saying there's just there's only certain good games and the rest are blah.
And again, I tend to cut the line and go for the one that I already know is game of the year 5 years later. So I'm a piece of shit because if I had to experience everything the same way you did, I would probably not have it on top. Like I felt from 130 kilometers away the heat you gave off when I said that it's better than Final Fantasy. He's literally twitching right now. Like I feel it.
You can see my legs are shit. Like I
You're
got.
no, you're a camera. You're all shaking. People can see this, but this is why I'm here. I'm here to stir shit up because it's what I do best. So, but like I said, Joe, I know it's not your favorite, but I think that the now that being said, and we talked about this earlier, that in between that generation of 2005 to 2020, it was a basically, let's see what the fuck we can get out because we talked about this in the franchise war. What is one thing a console cannot do to win the war? Not have games to release.
I know, I know, I know, and I know, and I
But is
know
this a
that
double
that's
edged
what
sword, Joe?
it was, and I believe some of the problem was now a good developing company were making the games, but I believe there was a time with the handhelds. I don't know which ones it was, but they had Capcom. I'm pretty sure make like so again. It wasn't that Nintendo heart. You could tell which games had that Nintendo heart and which games were just kind of getting pumped out because they needed to, right?
Right? We saw that with Final
Uh,
Fantasy. We talked about 8 and 9. We found it was like replying to cancel culture, right? We had 3 angry emails about this, so now we're going to entirely change the mechanics because and here's the thing. If I look at Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, they are different, but the mechanics overall same kind of
mhm.
shit.
Just
And
say,
like you said,
yeah.
what you dislike about games is the mechanics. Because if there's one thing, and you don't know this, because I've watched you talk about this and I see the way your eyes go. But when you talk
Hmm.
about the GameCube, the way that everything ran on it, right? We talked about this. And there is something to say about the way that Nintendo produces games. Yeah, they are in-house developers. I'm assuming still for the most part, or some kind of
Yeah.
first party, or have they moved
Oh yeah,
past
yeah,
this now?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. They have their own developing
Yeah.
like within Nintendo themselves. Like it's not like they paid for first party developers like PlayStation does. They in-house develop the games that they hold dear to their heart. You know what I mean?
And
Like,
and that's it. And we talked about this double-edged sword that sometimes you got to throw. Like I make t-shirts that don't fucking sell, but I got to know what people want. And that's it because there's always that one motherfucker. Like that's it. Joe is that motherfucker. Joe and his friends are the motherfuckers that go to the pawn shop to buy that one game no one's ever fucking heard of, but they've been thinking about fucking for the last 6 years. It's
oh
fucking
yeah,
weird.
dude.
You get, but that's it. But that's why I call you guys purists because you know
Yeah.
I'm not. I just go out there and I'm a little angry. I got a beard, so people like me. That's it. I'm not a likable person, but I'll at least ask you the real questions. So we talked about this double-edged sword. Now we've got to throw everything out.
Mhm.
Here's my question to you. Would Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, because can we at least agree that that was one of the best of the franchise?
Yes, because so if you think about from the first one, the very first one that came out in 87,
Yeah.
it threw you into the world and it was like, fuck you, figure it out. There's secrets and shit in here. There's no one's going to help you. No NPC is going to fucking tell you. You just got to go and bomb every wall. You just got to go and do this, go to figure it the
Look
fuck
for
out.
the cracks,
And
do what you got to do.
that's what they brought back in like a lot of the DNA of the first one is definitely in Breath of the Wild. Um and maybe it reminds me of that or maybe I just been conditioned with all the new games coming out on how it's just like they lay it out for you and like and it annoys me but it doesn't it respects my time, I guess. Again, you got to work and all that shit. So anyways, um but Breath of the Wild, I remember when I first hopped into it, just to figure out like the first mission was something like you had to find the items or the recipe to make something because you had to go into the cold, right? Is that what it was?
Some it's been a
So
minute, so
yeah, you start off on this cliff, but you can't leave the cliff because you need to figure out how to fight like the elements of the cold. But it really didn't tell you how, and you just had to figure it out. I respect that. I really do. But then like the rest of the game was like that, and it was like, well, where the fuck do I go from now? And I know now it's like, well, wherever the fuck you want. But it was again, and you mentioned it, if they change the mechanics, I'll give that game another go. Because I'll tell you, I don't have oh, I do have a controller with me. I was playing the game. Do you see? I don't know if you can see how my fingers are. I
yeah.
was playing the game like this, dude, because
Yep.
I didn't know how else, and that sucks. It should be this is your run, this is your jump. I don't want to be doing this constantly and holding it like a goddamn fucking crab. So change that shit. If they change that shit, because I'll tell you what, dude, they came out with another game on the Switch. I'm gonna find it here. Where the fuck is it? Uh, shit. What was it called? I think it was Link's Awakening. They like remade it on the Switch, and I fucking like that game a lot more than Breath of the Wild. I don't know if you've ever played it. It's think A Link to the Past, but with like,
I was
better
watching
graphics
video
and
on
shit.
it. It's one of those that I probably should have played, but this bring
I have it if you ever wanted to borrow it.
yeah,
But
we
that
might have to
game
do
was
a
amazing.
an all nighter stream, like something like that. I would stream if we got the fucking capture card all hooked up and shit. But
But
you
I
said
respect
something
Breath of the
there.
Wild.
You have to. Whether you like
I
it or not, you
respect
have
it.
to respect it as its place in gaming. And you had said it the best: is it's got that DNA. Because we
Mhm.
talked about this with Final Fantasy, right? When Final Fantasy loses its DNA, what is it? A flop.
It's just you could slap any other name on the game, and that's what it is, right? Like that's the
Because right
problem. And
now,
Legend of Zelda never has that. You can't just slap a random name on that game. But I could tell you right now with like Final Fantasy, even like Final Fantasy 16, honestly, you could call it something else and people would believe you. They would look at the game and they'd be like, "Oh, yeah, you could call it like Devil May Cry Medieval." And people would be like, "Oh, that's cool." But you can't change the name of these games and people are going to be like, "No, it's not. That's Legend of Zelda, dude." Like you could always tell,
and
right?
that's
Like
it.
you
The
could
way that I'm going
always
to
tell.
compare it, because music is, what I grew up being involved in. But Legend of Zelda is the Red Hot Chili Peppers. They're always going to put out something new. There's rarely going to be something along like, that sounds like it. It's always going to try to hit its own home. Whereas you've got Final Fantasy, which is orchestra, and I'm not even going to fucking rate that. That shit's
It is.
classical
Yeah.
music, because that's what it does. It takes it. Um, but we talk about the immersion level. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I have ever been, and you're gonna fucking hate me. This is gonna start some shit between you and I. I have never, as immersed as I have been in Final Fantasy, I have never been as immersed in a Final Fantasy game as I was with Breath of the Wild. That's what I'm gonna say. It's not right or
Okay.
wrong, Joe. It is just an opinion. We
I'm going to
listen
respect that
and we
opinion
don't
and don't
judge.
judge, but fuck. Okay, nope.
But that's the thing.
Nope.
But the thing is,
We get
my sample size of games is smaller than yours, right? When I talk Final Fantasy, I can't talk nine, and I've really thought about it. I think I'm gonna play nine. But that's it. Like Final Fantasy 10 will be a masterpiece. Will be probably the top contender. Why? And I thought about this yesterday because the other game that I'm playing now, Eternal Strands, is much like Legend of Zelda with a little final, with a little Prince of Persia kind of mixed in. It's a weird mix. But the one thing that it does, the voice acting. but it's got the cell animation. Yeah, it's by Yellow Brick Games out in Montreal. Um,
You can see I'm typing to look it up.
no,
It
it's good.
Eternal what?
Eternal Strands.
Strands.
Yep. But if you've played Octopath Traveler, it's kind of it's still got that cell animation, but with good voice acting. Because I didn't realize how important to me.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
that looks really cool. Okay, I'll do some more research on that later. Sorry,
Yeah,
go.
and I'll probably do a quick review on it because I think that's the other thing we're going to start doing is just playing games and doing a quick review so that other people know what we're playing, so we can shout out because Yellow Brick Games I think did a wonderful job with this game. There's a few things, but like I said, and you even mentioned it, when you get conditioned to a certain style of game, you expect certain things. So when I played God of War, for example, and The Witcher, two of the worst fucking jumpers I have ever had to deal. Kratos and Geralt. Not jumpers. Not climbers,
Nope.
not jumpers. Fuck. Don't know. But not putting them in the decathlon or the bikeathlon. Um, but then when you talk Legend of Zelda, like Legend of Zelda will always have its own mechanics to me. And like you said, its DNA matches mine a little more than yours because the games that I've played the longest have been those of that mechanic.
Right.
Right? I can figure it out.
Right.
But like I told you, is I can't go when I was going back from Xbox to Switch, I hated life. I hated video games. I almost called it quits because as far as I'm
It's tough. It's tough to switch between the like. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
and that's the thing. But like I said, you and Carrie, Noble and a few other. I think I'm really the only one, other than the Cotters and the odd people that play uh, Dead by Daylight. I pretty much stick to a game. You guys are true variety streamers. You play. Right, like Carrie, like fuck. Carrie used to have his kid. Monday was Mario Kart. Then Wednesday was a retro game. There was always something. But that's
Mhm.
it. But they can switch. But you and him are interchangeable. Like you guys can go from mouse to key to that. I can't. Son of a bitch, Joe. I started playing this game. I was worried it was mouse and keyboard, and I was like, nope. Not that it's hard, but it's just my brain is at a point where I can't donate the gray matter to any more fucking mechanics. But when I play Breath of the Wild, to me, because it's one that resonates, like I said, with my DNA. You're always, and this is what I'm gonna. And I never thought you're a PlayStation guy. You are a PlayStation guy to your X and Y chromosomes, Joe.
I
Because
I am.
any game that comes out on a place, I don't think I've ever heard you bitch about a PlayStation game the way that you dislike other games. But again, we
It's
talked
true.
about it and we got through because this is the best therapy session ever. You owe me $90, but think we found out that mechanics is really your thing because like I said in our first couple episodes when you were talking about and probably our first episode when you talked about the game cube, and one day I'll clip it, but when you guys look at the look in his eyes, and I've known Joe fucking 40 years, i have I have never seen that.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
yeah, dude.
say,
So
but
many good memories, bro.
but
So
that
many
was
good
your
memories.
style of game. Like
Mhm.
I felt that my love for gaming died with Xbox 360. That was it for me. I thought it was done. I went off into the
Mhm.
world, did a few things, went out, touched some grass, maybe touched a little too much, and now I'm back. But that's it. But I have a different appreciation for it now because the games that I really, if I had to go for games that we played as kids that I still remember, whether I played them with you or not, Breath of Fire 3, Final Fantasy 3,
Oh,
our
yeah.
Final Fantasy 3,
Mhm.
Metal Gear Solid,
Mhm. We stayed
Medal
up
of
all night playing
Honor,
that.
the first couple.
Ooh,
Like
those are good, yeah.
I never like Gran Turismo was always a you and Tim thing, more like Tim. Need for Speed Underground was that was a fucking
Fuck,
event.
dude.
But that's
So
it.
good. Dude, so I know whatever, we're off
Doesn't
topic, but I don't care.
we
Yeah,
have
we're having
barely
fun.
talked about Legend of
Yeah.
Zelda, sir. Don't even feel
Um,
bad.
but Need for Speed 2, I believe that like it did it come out? No. I was gonna say it hit that stride when Tokyo Drift came out, but it didn't. It was Fast and Furious. right? Fast and Furious movies, and then you had Need for Speed Underground 1 and 2. Oh my
Hmm.
god, dude, those fucking games, so good.
And I love
So
you,
good.
Joe, because you didn't see how I'm ending this, but I'm bringing it back. So, that being said, do you feel that we've come to an age where we could see Legend of Zelda on Xbox Game Pass?
You know what? I'm going to say, oh, well, no. I'm trying to think on Game Pass. Uh my gut feeling is no. You might you might eventually see other maybe Nintendo games on Game Pass. Maybe. Maybe. Because I know there was always they did have talks in the past about things. I know Xbox was trying to, at one point, I think they were trying to like partner or buy Nintendo or something. But um Legend of Zelda, I don't think so, dude, because like Legend of Zelda, okay, so Legend of Zelda and Mario will always be their game, like their sellers, their game sellers, you know what I mean? Um Even I would say even Donkey Kong, because if you notice, like every time a new Nintendo system comes out, it's usually one of the two. The Switch 2 surprised me with not having a Mario or a Zelda game, but they just came out with Tears of the Kingdom, so I guess you were able to upgrade it for an extra $10 or some bullshit that they do. Um, but they came out with Donkey Kong. So if they were to let go of those two franchises that they now have, because remember, these two franchises have been around since 1980s. Every system that has come out for Nintendo always has one of these, both of them, I shouldn't say one of these, both of them come out. Some may argue Metroid is also one, but they skipped a couple generations with Metroid. Like they come out with like other Metroid's another one that's weird because you got Metroid Prime, you got Metroid this, Metroid that, whatever. Anyways, I don't think they would ever give anybody, I'm not even going to say the rights, but let anybody else sell anything Mario or Zelda unless it's them, because those two are their biggest money makers and they're never going to let go of that, right? Maybe they'll put Pokemon. They'll put Pokemon on Game Pass, maybe, right? Do you know what I mean? Because
In my
I think,
opinion, Pokemon is kind of cross platform because in the differences in games, you can play mobile, you can do like, you know what I mean? And like
yeah,
what I'm trying to get at, Joe, was we saw this and we had this conversation last week when I pointed out Final Fantasy is now on Xbox Game Pass. But it wasn't only Final Fantasy, it was Sega too. We
yeah,
like
yeah.
and that's it. So now that Legend of Zelda has reached a level of popularity that they're making it into a movie
Mhm.
or TV show, whatever the fuck it is. I'm pretty sure it's a movie. Um,
It's a live action movie, yeah.
yeah, right. Which is going to end up turning. This
Mhm.
is like One Piece. I had no business in One Piece while it was in its animated phases. Carrie's the kind of guy that watched every episode as it came out. But I only know it. I'm the Netflix motherfucker. I only come for the cleaned up version, and
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah.
But like I said, I never thought I would see the day that Final Fantasy would be available, regardless of edition, would be available on another platform other than
Than
Xbox. Or
PlayStation,
sorry, PlayStation.
or other than
But
PlayStation?
that being said, we came from console purists, right? Like
Mhm.
there's certain things we only played sports on PlayStation. We would play Halo. Like, could you imagine playing Halo on PlayStation?
Yeah, which I think, is it not?
Is it?
They're releasing it.
See, and this is it.
They will be.
So
Yeah, they will be.
So is
Yeah.
Nintendo gonna hold back? We're gonna leave it at that note there
No.
because I can we can keep talking about this, but I've already we've got enough. We've got enough. We're gonna let
Yeah.
people get pissed off at us. We'll just try to get through to next week, and do we can. But again, anybody who's listening, we want to thank you so much. I am Angry Corgi. That is Joey Shadows. Check him out on Twitch. I'm also on Twitch. This show is going to be rerun on there at some point. I'm going to test it out, but it will be up on YouTube and Spotify in the next couple days. And like I said, if you want to help us out, go check out angrycorgicustoms.com.ca, .uk, and whatever the fuck else Joe tells you to go to. Just do that.
.jp,
Fuck
.eu,
org. But anyways, thanks again. And yeah, we'll be back. I can't remember what we said we are going to talk about next week. I guess we'll.
I can't. Oh, I don't know if it will be next week
Oh yeah,
because we might still be able to. I'll see how I feel.
yep.
I'm just gonna say it all though to the viewers now. I'm getting the snip on Friday. No more kids for me, and when I say no more kids, one's enough. Um, so that's getting done on Friday. I'm able to drive home though, dude. So like, I don't think it's
I
that
think
bad.
you'll feel fine. I don't think you've used it enough to miss it. I think when you've used it, it's just been efficient. Um,
Basically, I'm all about efficiency, bro.
That's why we love you, buddy. But anyways, but yeah, not a big deal. But we're eventually going to come because we will take a hiatus and we are going to shift out of video games. Well, not shift out, but we are going to arc it into either
TV
movies.
shows, right?
Yeah, it was movies,
Yeah.
TV, and then I think the third season 3 arc is going to be comics, and we are going to go back
Yeah.
comics
I
and
think toy
toys.
lines and yeah,
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 yeah, because I can't
yeah.
really talk to comics, but I can definitely. But that's one we'll definitely have to get Timmy Mac. And like I said, we're gonna start reaching out
Mhm.
to some people I'd like to have, people that'll basically just come out here and piss Joe off. Um, you guys don't need to hear me talk. I just want to get him upset. Like, did you see how mad he got? Like, I'm gonna say it again. Legend of Zelda is better than Final Fantasy. Yeah. So now Joe needs antidepressants. So this is the look that I'm trying to achieve. If you can get him to bite his fucking Joe used to grind his teeth. He's gonna need a mouth guard by the
I
time
did.
I'm done with
I
him.
did. Yeah. Yeah, and it's starting to come back.
You're
No.
welcome. You're welcome. It's amazing how when I left your life there, you started feeling better. Anyways, guys, I'm like a sore tooth, but I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys listening. Thanks again for supporting Angry Corgi Productions, Customs, and Joey Shadows. We will talk to you guys next week.